Yeah, Larry, what is it?
It's time to make the video.
I know. I'm just going over some things that we might do.
You already got one on the schedule.
What's on the schedule?
A new episode of the search for the worst action figure line ever.
Hadn't we already looked at all the worst action figure line ever? There can't be any more of them, can they?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad action figure lines out there.
Well, which one are we looking at this time?
Mego's the Waltons action figure line.
No, not John Boy! We looked at Revolutionary War action figures, Hunter Dan action figures. We've talked about New Kids on the Block action figures, and even superhero action figures based on NSYNC. Or was it 98 Degrees, or one of those other boy band from the 90s? I don't really know. I've blocked a lot of this from my memory because in this series of video, we're searching for the worst action figure line ever. And every time I think I found it, another one pops up to make me wonder, is this the worst action figure line ever? Well, for today's video, we're going to have to go see John Boy, Ma, and Pa at Walnut Grove. In 1974, the company that a few years later turned down the rights to Star Wars action figures had the rights to the Waltons action figures. That's right, the Waltons action figures. I never thought I'd put all those words together. The Waltons and action figures. Now these were doll-like size, but I don't know who the market was for these because sure, the Waltons was probably a show families sat around and watched, but who watched John Boy and all the others and said, man, I sure like to go play the Waltons? No one ever said that in the history of playing with action figures. No one wanted a Ma and a Pa and a John Boy and a Sue or whoever. I don't even know who they all are, but we're going to look at each one. Not only did they release figures, they released 2-packs and, believe it or not, even playsets. Playsets for your Walton action figures. Let's get this video over with because I'm sure it's going to take in the views because no one's going to click on it when they see I'm talking about the Waltons action figures. Let's look at the single figures. Out of all the figures in this line, this is probably the nicest looking one. I don't remember Ellen from the show. I'll be honest with you, I've only watched Waltons 2 times. And both of those times, it wasn't on purpose. It was accident. So here's Ellen. I guess she's John Boy's girlfriend or sister. Or maybe both. It is the Waltons. And let's look at the parents of the Waltons. Here's Pop. That's right, Pop. I don't know, I'm guessing in the show he had a real name, but according to the package, he's just Pop. And who was Pop shacking up with at night after John Boy said goodnight? You know, Mom. Mom Walton. Here she is right here. Probably one of the creepiest action figures I've ever seen in my life. Wow, that is creepy. But it's going to get even worse than that. Because not only could you get Ma and Pop action figures, you could get Mom and Pop's parents, grandparents, that's right. Let's check out Grandma. Holy crap, this looks like some kind of Norman Bates-like figure. What is this? It's terrifying. Can you imagine being a kid getting this for Christmas? It would scar you for life. And who was Grandma Walton getting it on with? Grandpa Walton. Here he is. Well, I admit, this was a nice looking figure. Based on the character from the show, the likeness is right and it's not all that creepy looking. I mean, more so than just being a Walton toy. That's creepy enough right there. But that's not it. Oh no. You know we can't look at Walton's action figure without talking about the main mole man himself, John Boy. Here's Richard Thomas as an action figure. Did you know that? You can own a Richard Thomas action figure. I know a lot of you younger kids are probably saying, hey, is that the guy from It? Some of you may even say, hey, is that the guy that played Hank Williams Jr.? But nope, that's the guy that played John Boy. Oh, John Boy action figure. I never thought I'd put all those words together for a video. So is this the worst action figure line we've ever seen? Not convinced yet? Well, let's look at the 2-packs. Well, there's not much to talk about here, as these 2-packs were just the same single figures put into 2-packs, you know, in case kids were like, Mom, I want 2 Walton figures. Here was your chance. Of course, you had Mom and Pop. No brainer, those 2 came together. And in another box, you had Grandpa and Grandma. Again, 2 lovers in a box together. And then in the other box, you have Ellen and John Boy, which I'm guessing the other two boxes are lovers, so I guess these two are lovers too, and not brothers and sisters. But then again, we are talking the Waltons, so you never really know. Single figures, 2-packs, but the shocker of it all is damn Walton's playsets. Yep, it wasn't bad enough you got these creepy looking scary figures, you had to have a playset for them. Let's take a look. Anyone looking to buy some seeds or some feed or maybe a bundle of hay knows that you can find it on Walnut Mountain. Inside of the country store. Inside, it doesn't really look that bad. Has a lot of play features, that's for sure. So I can't really knock this playset as much as I want to. Now we've seen where the Waltons shop, but where does John Boy and Ellen, Grandpa, Grandma, Pa and Ma all sleep? Well, under the same roof. It's the Waltons, right? Anyway, you had to have a Waltons home if you were going to have Waltons action figures. And here it is, the Waltons farmhouse. Again, I would like to pick on this and say it's horrible and make fun of it, but honestly, for what it is, it's pretty cool looking. I mean, it's pretty neat. I'm going to be honest with you, my sister, someone had this in the 70s, and then in the early 80s, they wasn't playing with it anymore. It would have been a cool house for my Star Wars figures. Other than the fact that it's based on the Waltons, I can't really pick on it. They're really well done. I have to admit, they're really well done. And any action figure line has to come with a vehicle. And believe it or not, the Waltons had a vehicle. It shows a figure, on the box it shows a figure inside. I guess that's John Boy. Whoever it is, look, he's crammed in there pretty tight. If you ever get your figure inside this truck, you're not getting it out. Not without some broke limbs. Now about all the accessory playsets, this is the most boring. It's just a basic truck. I would love to sit here and pick on it, but there's really not much I can say. It doesn't have really much detail. It's all one color and it's really boring. But I'll give it to Mego. At least they didn't put a sticker that said the Waltons on the door like, a lot of companies would have done. And we actually got saved from having another playset release. That's right, we almost got the Waltons barn. As you can see here in this catalog from Mego, there was planned for a Mego the Waltons barn. I mean, I guess you need this after you buy your feed and your seed at the Waltons country store. It almost got worse than that because we almost got the release of Love and Stuff dolls. That's what these dolls were gonna be called, Love and Stuff. And guess what two dolls they were gonna make? You guessed it, John Boy and Ellen. John Boy and Ellen, brother and sister, or lovers, or both. It was gonna be called Love and Stuff. That's just all kinds of creepy. Hopefully in the comment section you'll tell me that this is some later season where John Boy was married to someone named Ellen and she wasn't even related. But if you ask me, everyone on top of Walnut Mountain was related. Now I'm gonna be honest. This may not be the worst action figure line I've ever seen. I still think some of the ones we looked at before are a lot worse and have less play value. Now this wasn't aimed for people like me or young boys. I'm guessing it was aimed for young girls. Hey, it has a girl in the box, so I guess so. But I can't even see girls having much fun with this after the first week or two. But I could be wrong. Out of all the videos we've done looking for the worst action figure line ever, let me know. You could say, hey Junkman, this is the worst. It's creepy looking. It's based on a stupid television show. It looks like nothing kids would want. So let me know in the comments what you think. Have we found it? Have we found the worst action figure line ever? I'll let you decide that. Well, until the next video, thumb up so I know you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and good night, John Boy. God, fucking Waltons. I can't believe I just did a video about the Waltons.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Ben.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, children.
Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Chewy. Good night, Dusty. Good night, Larry.
Oh, y'all so sweet. Good night, everybody. Hope y'all sleep well.
Good night, Dusty. Good night, Junkman. Good night, Larry. I say good night, Larry.
Yeah, we said good night, Larry.
Larry, good night.
Good night, Larry.
God damn it. Okay, good night.